I lost my husband and my son in a motor accident, and since then, my in-laws have turned my life into hell. I was married for 3 years before I lost my husband, and my child was almost 2 years old. We were driving home one day from the shop because my shop was close to my husband's shop. So whenever we are done, we always drive home together. So I told him to drop me at the market close by. Let me just buy what I'm going to prepare that evening so that he would take my son home. My son was sleeping in the car at the back. My husband was driving. So I dropped and went into the market. If not, I would have gone with them. Just from the nearby market to my house, a trailer hit my husband and crushed both my son and my husband. We couldn't even recognize their bodies. Since I lost my husband, my life has been hell. My in-laws treated me as if I'm an outcast. I knew they didn't like my husband. They always had issues. So my husband was never close to his family. My husband has lost his parents a long time ago. So his uncles and aunties, he's not very close to them at all. They barely even speak. Before I lost my husband, he was building a house in which I was contributing to in the city where we live in. Everything was taken away from me. Everything. They even suspected me for having a hand in my husband and my child's death. When my husband died, I saw hell. My in-laws treated me as if I was a slave who stole money from the king. There is absolutely nothing they didn't do to me. They seized practically everything, even my clothes. I didn't leave my husband's house with my wigs. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. During his burial, it was hell. They didn't even think that, this woman just lost her husband. They started accusing me of all sort of things. They cut his fingernails and tied it to my clothes, asking me to sleep with it for so many days. If I had a hand in my husband's death, if I did this, if I did that. Before I lost my husband, we were staying in a rented apartment. You will not believe that even this rented apartment was seized from me. I took the key to the village. It was with my sister and my mom. So after all the burial and everything, they said I was going to stay for some days, no problem. They were practically monitoring me. You will not believe that these people traveled with me back to the city to make sure that I didn't get a penny. All the wigs that I had, even before I got married, they told me that it was my husband that bought it for me. If not for my family who stood by me and went to the police station to make a report, I would not have left that house with a single box of clothes. This thing I'm telling you, it was after 1 month I was able to get my own clothes from my husband's rented apartment. I'm not talking about the house he built. I said a rented flat. I had to involve the police just so I can get my own wigs and my own box. I couldn't even take my child's clothes to remember him by. I couldn't even take my husband's frame. Our wedding frame. I couldn't take nothing. Absolute nothing from that family. It is a huge relief that I have nothing to do with that family. But if my husband was alive, I would not have even met with them at all. My ATM cards were seized. Everything was seized. If not for customer care and social media handles that I called to lock up all my accounts, I would not have left that house with 1,000 naira. And I single-handedly spent every single thing for my husband's burial. So I was left with nothing. All his accounts were empty because I spent everything. The papers of the house, I left that house with absolutely nothing. Please and please, if you are getting married, it doesn't matter if they don't like you. If your husband comes from a family that is wicked, please run away. Anything can happen. What I went through in my in-laws' hands, I do not wish it for my enemy. They were so evil. They were so wicked. And I am 100% sure they had a hand in my husband's death. Because why on earth would they treat me like that? If not that they wanted to take everything away from him. He was building a house just because they heard about that. They killed him for nothing. They took my child along with him. This is the most painful part. I have not been able to move on. I have not been able to do anything. I am just finding my feet. My husband was the love of my life and I don't know where to go from here.